Okay.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our videos about a series of video with my friend Brett from Thailand. He's originally from the US, from New Jersey, and decided to live in Thailand and has been living there for 10 years, so it's quite awesome. So what would you say that was most striking for you in Thailand when you just flew to Thailand?
First thing was
it more about people, more about organization, or more about...
Well, I mean, the first thing you notice is just so hot.
So?
It's the weather.
It's so hot.
It's just
so
always
hot.
really hot and sweaty. You walk around for a few minutes and you're just drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
And that's kind of frustrating because you see Thai people don't walk around much, but when they do, they don't seem to sweat.
I noticed that when I was in the south, a lot of mosquitoes when almost everywhere I went, mosquito attacks.
Mosquitoes are another thing. You gotta get used to them. And they
Are you used to Thai mosquitoes?
I mean, they're used to me. Yeah. I mean, I still get bitten almost every day of my life, I'd say.
Do Thai people get beaten or not that?
Not when they're around me, because then I'm like the treat, I think. But, so I'm better than the repellent. But yeah, of course they get bitten.
Okay.
I don't think I have enough blood for all of them, so they gotta fight Thai people sometimes.
So what do you like most about Thai people?
They're just really easygoing.
Yeah,
they're way more approachable than a lot of other countries that I've been to.
Yeah. Which country you have been to that people are not so easygoing?
I don't want to say anything bad about any country. I mean,
also in Asia or in Europe or both?
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say that there aren't plenty of nice people everywhere. It's just Thai people on average, almost all of them, you can go up and talk to. But just like the chance of you getting kind of that mean
refused
or like
rejected.
Yeah, that kind of weird rejection is really rare.
It's rare, and
whereas it's pretty common in the West.
Yeah, it's pretty common,
especially in a big city.
And that people don't know you. They don't really want to know you, and they don't speak with other people.
I mean, obviously, maybe it's just they don't know how to react because they're not used to people doing that in that culture,
That's
or
true.
because they don't speak the language you're approaching them with, or I mean, if you're in a city that has crime, then maybe they're wondering if this is a trick. Because like around here, you got people coming up to you. I don't know, I didn't see it, but I heard a lot about it. Like people come up and try to fill out this form, and then steal stuff. I don't know, my friend who's from Belgium told me this story. He's like, yeah, you gotta watch out. You can't. I mean, he said in the summer it's terrible, especially in this area.
That's why people always ignore those people.
Right. Because they're pretending to get donations, but they're gonna trying to steal money.
Steal some money or something. Yeah, scamming. That's why.
In Thailand, I mean, some of that stuff exists. People are always trying to scam you, but
they're
really nice about it.
They're really nice.
They'll always be smiling, and whether or not they're stealing your money, they'll be really nice and polite about it.
The way they convince you to buy something, it's so soft. It's nothing to do with other people.
It's totally different than like Indonesia or Vietnam or China.
It's so different from other countries. They don't insist. They let you think about it. They say, relax, take a seat, take a seat, and just I don't know. Their mentality is so different. They're so relaxed, not like in the West.
They're not very uptight. They're not uptight at all.
And not uptight at all. And what is your favorite meal in Thailand?
Well, I do have some eating restrictions, so...
Yeah, as my friend is vegan, that's why we eat falafel. I like to eat falafel.
Yeah, falafels are good. I've just been eating a whole lot of them since I came to Europe.
Yeah.
But, falafels are good.
As a vegan in Thailand, what do you eat on a daily basis?
I eat Thai food all the time. I like lap. Lap is like, I don't know if you know what lap is.
No, I don't know.
It's like a northern Thai dish. Normally it would be like minced meat, but it doesn't have to be. And so I get like at vegetarian and vegan places that make it with mushrooms or tofu or both, or there's a lot of options. It's kind of spicy and it's got some funky herbs in it. It's really good. You gotta try it.
Okay, I'll try it next time.
So I eat that pretty often. The places I go can make just about anything, any Thai dish. So I eat everything. I change it up all the time.
Is it very common for Thai people to eat insects in the north? Or is it just a stereotype we see?
No, a lot of people do, but I suspect that may change over time.
Okay.
Because there's a growing middle class in Thailand now, where people have access to money and they start getting ideas about
Traveling,
pretentiousness and it's
okay.
like, eating books beneath me. You start to see that now, but yeah, I mean, regular people still eat bugs, and nobody, it wasn't gross 10 years ago. And it's only now that I start seeing Thai people that pretend to be horrified at eating bugs, even though they probably ate them 10 years ago. But that's how the world changes.
Yeah. And did you feel more relaxed living in Thailand than living in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just easier.
Less stressful.
It's just like, I was living in a new country and I was shy to go do stuff like open a bank account and go to the dentist. Just like, even though I'd been there 6 months, whatever, of a year, and I could speak Thai, but it wasn't great. I didn't have to deal with these situations, and I didn't really know how to learn the language.
So how did you handle all of that?
If I could, I'd get someone to go with me.
Oh, okay.
Which was easy in Thailand. Something like that's not easy in America. It's like, hey, I'm gonna open a bank account. You want to come?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody in America that'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
And in Thailand, everyone
wants to come. They're like, let's go.
It's the different kind of mentality.
In certain situations, I think I have a similar way of thinking. Like, you want to sit around by yourself, be bored, and if you've never been, it's kind of an anxious experience, and it's the same for them. They don't want to be sitting alone.
Yeah. What?
At one time, I went to a university in Chiang Mai, and I had kind of befriended a bunch of the Thai kids, and that were studying in my building. And one day I had to go to the hospital, and like 9 of them took me there, and they all waited for me for like 2 hours while I went through this whole process. And I was just like, you don't have to stay if you can leave. They're like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so
all right.
Is that in Thai mentality to be helpful?
Yeah. And there I was kind of as a group, and I was sort of maybe honorary part of the group.
So you are not.
I'm still just a Quran, but
you are never alone in Thailand.
Well.
Or did you feel lonely sometimes?
It's still hard to totally penetrate another culture like this, especially a homogenous.
Even after 10 years.
Yeah, with some people it's easier than others. It's not impossible. It's just really hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to become really good friends with people. I have plenty of friends that I've known forever, and I could call them if I needed something, but you don't seem regular. It's not the same as friendships that I've had in other countries, I think. But it's not a bad thing. It's just different.
So, cultural-wise, how did you benefit from your stay in Thailand?
Just all the stress of my life in the States.
Just throw it away.
Yeah, forget about it. All the pressure, like on what I'm supposed to be doing or how I'm supposed to go about my life.
Yeah.
There's none of it. So for me, it was really good. It can be really dangerous for someone who is just going to be a lazy bum. And there's plenty of those people, and you'll get depressed if you don't do something. But I did something. I studied. I learned to speak like 5 languages in those 10 years, and
a major achievement.
Well, I'm not as good as I want to be, but I did something. I was always plugging away.
So where does this passion for Asian languages stems from?
It wasn't. I didn't choose to study Asian languages. It's just those were what were available. So I was in Thailand, so that was just a given. I just tried to I just hit the ground running. I knew nothing before I got on the plane.
Okay.
I bought 2 phrase books. They were so terrible. I think the Lonely Planet phrase book helped a little bit, but the way the transliteration was unreadable. And then a lot of the phrases in there were totally wrong.
Okay.
And I remember they still publish this stuff. Nobody ever talks that way. And of course you won't know
until you get there.
Well, until you said it 20 times, and until you've said it so many times that you start to know it, and then you realize that nobody else ever said it. And nobody had the nerve to tell you that they never say it. But I didn't really know any foreigners. So I just ran around trying to go shopping, go in restaurants, and it worked out alright. I sort of succeeded.
And what do you do now in Thailand as activity or?
I teach Thai.
You teach Thai?
I teach Thai. I have a book for learning to read Thai, and I'm actually working on book 2 now.
Oh, book 2. Also to learn Thai?
Yeah, well that'll be like what you should do after you can read.
After you can read, okay.
It's basically a series of of exercises mastering some everyday sentences.
Okay.
But like not the stuff you see in regular books. Like this is way more useful.
So what remember when you could not speak in Thai, and when you learned Thai, and after you have learned Thai, what's the difference when you were living in Thailand? That surely opened a lot of doors, and what do the relation between people change if you know Thai?
Yeah. Well, you can access. Also, you get access to people you wouldn't have had access to otherwise.
Okay.
Because there's plenty of people out there that speak zero English, and there's plenty that speak like surface English.
Surface
But they can't talk to any. They can't have a real deep conversation.
Okay.
And if you get that fluent in a language where you can do that, then yeah, you can talk your way out of situations where you have to pay fines or bribes, and you can talk your way into situations where you'd never be able to do it otherwise.
Okay.
Because that sort of Western alpha male brute force kind of style doesn't work very well in
Doesn't
Thailand.
apply to
It's
Thailand.
just they don't respond very well to that generally.
So when you travel to Thailand or you go to live to Thailand, you also have to become a very relaxed person.
Well, that's definitely the hard part for Westerners. I mean, I still struggle with it too.
No, not too direct, like when you're.
Thailand, nobody's ever on time. That's kind of been brainwashed into me. I'm always on time. I'm early.
Yeah.
But I know everyone else is going to be late, so I go early, show up, and then maybe I'll go walk around, or I'll go get a coffee nearby, because I know.
You know Thai culture.
I can relax after I've gotten there on time, and then I'll go off somewhere else.
Mentality.
And they'll be like, "Where were you?" I was like, "Yeah, I came and then I went somewhere else. I'm back now."
Yeah.
So that's how I deal with it.
And do you see your life just 5 years or 10 years?
I don't see myself just staying in Thailand. I think I'm at the point now where
You need to move.
most of my work is online, and I have products that I'm selling, and I'm doing fairly well. So I don't really, there's not really any need for me to be there. So I'd like to spend more time in other countries studying more languages and getting better at the ones that are, consolidating the ones that I do know.
So which Asian languages do you really you are focusing on?
I mean, I speak Chinese, Korean, and Japanese to some extent. Thai none of them are nearly as fluent as Thai, but I know tons of stuff. I studied all of them for many years.
Did you
I just didn't know what I was doing.
Some Vietnamese also?
Not really. I mean, before I've been there a few times, so every time before I go, I review the numbers and where's the bathroom, give me a beer.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm never there for long. I'm always hanging out with people that speak English, and it's. If I went there for months, I would come out of there speaking Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like here. I mean, I studied French for a week before I came to Brussels, and then I found out I was staying in a Flemish town right outside Brussels. So, and I didn't know a word of Dutch. So, like great. I literally spent I hired someone to teach me an hour of French an hour a day. I mean, basically, I told him what sentences I wanted, and I just practiced learning these sentences. Yeah. And so I didn't get to say them. So maybe tonight we'll go somewhere I can try to order something in French.
Maybe we'll see.
But I mean, it's not even. I'm not going to go back and speak French. Probably won't go back and study either. It's not.
Yeah, you're not going to use French in the near future.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being able to speak French. It's just I don't have the
motivation.
Yeah, I don't have the motivation, so I'm not going to really. I'm not going to even pretend to I'm going to do it.
So how did you get your where did you get your motivation from to learn Thai?
I mean, I was just here. I just started doing it from the first day. And anytime I'm going to go to a country and I don't know the language, I feel weird. I have to start learning it.
Yeah, because you feel excluded.
Well, I feel kind of stupid because I feel embarrassed to go and order a coffee in English.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. But you have to.
But if I don't know the words, if I don't even know how to well, yeah.
Our cafe.
Yeah, I mean, I should just say it in Thai, and then they'll be like, "What?"
Yeah.
But it's I have a lot of trouble with passion, because sometimes the thing that had you driven in the beginning goes away, and
you have to keep moving.
You have to find a new source of motivation.
Would it be music, TV shows?
Yeah, all the above. I mean, it's a lot of work though, because if you're picky about stuff like that, you may have to go through tons and tons of media to find something you like. It sucks. It sucks and you can't really. I mean, you always ask native speakers, hey, can you recommend shows? I mean, I'll be like, hey, what did you watch when you were in high school? Or what music did you listen to? And like that's, so I always find that to be good. To go back, to listen to what your friends listened to when they were kids, and start there, like stuff that they enjoyed when they were teenagers. And I'll usually try to start with stuff like that, like tell me about old shows, and I'll watch a couple episodes and see if I can get into it. If I don't, it doesn't matter. I just go for another one.
So maybe it's very important to get in touch with native speakers, because you cannot learn to be natural in any language if you don't have any contacts with native speakers. You can read as much as you want. You will never be natural if you don't have that kind of human interaction, right?
And media is a big part of that. You gotta watch a lot. I mean, you gotta watch a lot of TV and movies. I mean, you don't have to. I got away with it by not watching any Thai TV and movies for a long time, and I still managed to get. You get to a point where, people. I just started watching it because I hear them talking about the same star singer all the time, and I sort of knew who they were. And then I've watched the show a few times, so then I kind of get it. And
you get real time.
If I learn enough that I can at least fake participation in the conversation.
So there is a whole world between textbook Thai and real time.
Oh yeah.
Nothing to do.
Yeah, with textbook Thai, most folks nobody talks that way.
Okay.
Like they're all words and they're all fine and it's all correct. It's kind of like you speaking standard Arabic.
Yeah, standard Arabic. Nobody speaks
standard Arabic except for people who study Arabic.
Yeah, that's true. Like me.
But that's what they recommend you start with, because every dialect sort of is a result of that. But a lot of those dialects are totally different.
Yeah, totally different. And what you told me about just walking up to strangers and speak to them, it's kind of the same when I went to Turkey. It's a Mediterranean country. It's really easy to speak with anyone. You just go to a restaurant and you speak to a guy that is next to you. It's no problem. He will talk with you for hours, and the first reaction is, "What do you drink?" And they will always offer you something to drink. Very touchy culture in the Mediterranean area. When they speak, they always touch each other, and it's kind of fun. And they kiss 4 times or 3 times. It's not really part of some cultures, like certain cultures.
Most cultures know that.
Yeah.
But there's plenty to do.
Yeah.
You don't really see that in Asia.
No, we don't really.
In America, it's seen as something that's very pretentious. People trying to act European.
Here it's very normal.
Here it's totally normal.
Totally normal. And the why? How is it called?
The why?
Why? The why is pretty much something.
It's pretty formal. You don't do that to if you met me for the first time and we're meeting like friends. You wouldn't have to lie to me.
Okay. I think I like to why because I never why in Europe. So whenever I go to Thailand, I why everyone.
So what you can do is when you go around your rounds, go in all the Turkish spots, you can start whining, and they'll be like, "What are you doing?" And then you can explain it in Turkish.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, they would maybe assume that it's part of my culture. I don't know. Actually, why is just present? I think it's just in Cambodia and Thailand. I never saw a Vietnamese person.
Vietnamese is totally different.
Yeah, totally different.
Vietnamese has more of a Chinese kind of thing.
Yeah, even languages has nothing to do in Southeast Asia except Lao and Thai.
And I think that probably comes from India.
Maybe, yeah.
Not that they do that anymore there.
Do you feel some influence from other countries in Thailand, like from China, Vietnam, or Cambodia, from Laos, or from Myanmar? Is there any kind of influence?
I mean, you see it more in the language and the food. And also, I don't know nearly as much about. I don't have the same kind of exposure to those other cultures that I do in Thai. I've never really spent any time. I've been to Laos a couple of times. I've never really spent any time there. To me, I imagine Laos was probably what Thai was like 30 or 40 years ago.
Oh, okay.
The people are a little shyer. Food's similar, but not quite as good.
Not quite as good.
Although, because of the French influence, they make really awesome baguettes.
Yeah, I have to say hello to my friend William from Chiang Rai.
That's the French guy in Chiang Rai.
Yeah.
Hey, William.
So yeah, he told me that he met a lot of great people from Burma.
Yeah, Burmese people are great. Burmese people actually are very a lot like Turkish people.
Yeah.
They're just super nice, very friendly, and it's just really good.
Are they very different from Thai people from your experience?
I mean, there's some similarities, of course, but yeah, they're very different.
In what way?
I don't know. I mean, let's just word it carefully. I think that their warmth is often more real, more genuine.
More genuine. Yeah. Not
Thai
forced.
people, Thai culture, they put forth this smiling thing, which isn't. I mean, a lot of times it is real, but a lot of times it's not.
Yeah.
Whereas in Burma, I mean, I don't. Again, I'm no expert, but it seems to me like theirs is a lot more real.
Okay.
It's not a mask or anything. It's like they're really being that nice, which is it's a great thing to experience as coming from America, where you don't see that on a regular basis.
Yeah, they don't see that.
And again, it exists there too, but just when you meet people from other cultures, people from Brazil, and Turkey, and I guess Burma, they're all just like ridiculously nice.
They're always
I wonder how they would survive in like a cutthroat environment.
They're always happy. Like
they're always happy and like
always
happy to help and happy to like, oh, what I was doing is not important, but let's help out your problem. It's kind of, I don't know, humbling.
Yeah, I had the same kind of experience with Turkish people. They are very helpful and they will always try to help you, try to inform you a little more about their culture, and always open and ready to have a great time with you.
I think actually this kind of makes me think that one of the things that probably drives us, even though we probably weren't aware of it, and that wouldn't be our first choice of an answer if we asked this, is that the culture and how it meshes with our personality and how comfortable it makes us feel, and how like, oh, this is a great culture. That's a source of inspiration to want to be able to know these people better.
Yeah, you want to.
The more you get into the language or culture, it's everything's so intertwined. You learn, whichever one you're studying, you're getting both.
Yeah, the culture and the language at the same time. You learn how to interact with Thai people. You learn how to interact with Turkish people. You learn that in Thailand, the first question you will be asked when you just meet up with friends is, have you eaten something, or
right. But I mean that's a lot of that they do in China.
Or pai nai ma.
Right.
Everyone will say
so
pai nai ma.
The way you say what's up in Thai is they say, kin khao yang, pai nai ma. So it's basically, if you're not moving, it's have you eaten it. If you are moving, it's where you're going or where you're coming back from.
Yeah, but you are not expected to reply to the question.
It's a game almost. It's really just like, hey, what you got? What's going on? What you up to? I'm just heading to work. Or like, I'm going for a walk.
Yeah.
I mean, how you answer helps to decide whether or not it's going to lead to a longer conversation.
Yeah. And I have the impression when you speak with those kind of people who are always happy that your conversation is never going to end. It's so long and you can speak about everything, and they're so enthusiastic to speak about everything, every topic. It's so amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it gets tiring sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
When you're in a bad mood and you don't want to talk to your security guard for half an hour.
Yeah. Okay, I think
that's probably the 20 minutes. We might want to cut it there.
We ramble a lot. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to have a look at his channel. I'll put it in the description box, and also to his Thai course if you are interested in learning Thai. Do you want to say something more?
No, it's fun. It's great to meet you, and let's learn some more languages.
Okay, let's learn more languages, more cultures, and that's it. Bye-bye.
See ya.